Oh yeah, sexy biscuits. Nice.
Long Blues 1975. A YouTuber's on the rise. Reviewing games late at night and sometimes friends music about Long Blues 1975.
This is Space Harrier on the Sony PlayStation 2. It's another title that's is part of the Sega Classics collection. This would be the one I looked most forward to and probably am the most disappointed with. Look at that mammoth. I mean, what the fuck? Okay, anyway, yeah, this is obviously another 3D reimagining of the 1985 absolute bloody classic Space Harrier, where Harrier travels to the fantasy zone, same location, or same zone I should say, or setting, if you will, as the game Fantasy Zone, and yeah, has to free it from, you know, these evil dragons and like technology. That's what's the greatest thing about it. It's got mythical, kind of prehistoric, and all kind of future tech in it. Right, let's get into this. Arcade. Now, as I say, it's probably fair not to judge this as part of this compilation, but on how much it would have cost as a standalone budget title in Japan. Okay, right. I mean, obviously the music's still absolutely fantastic, but, right, look at the size of my gun. It looks like I'm running with a Kawasaki. Oh, underneath my arm. I mean, I do like the fact that you can run on the floor. That's kind of cool, and you stay on the floor. Oh look, it's got power-ups. You stay on the floor and you don't, you know, automatically go back up after a certain period of time. But then it stops you running on the floor. That's interesting when there's craters and stuff. Now, the explosion effects are kind of nice, and I like the fact that the lasers, or their lasers I should say, you know, do that weird twirly thing. Listen to that. Nice. Yeah, the explosions are alright, but I don't know, my gun is just, it just seems underwhelming compared to the original. And, you know, I'm going to go on record and say this. I mean, I know this is true 3D and the original sprite scaling, but I think the original looks better. It really does. Right. Will be interesting to see how the dragons look, because they are all, well, they look kind of real. Well, you can't say dragons are realistic. They look like a realistic approach to Toon dragons, but the one, there you go. But the one I saw, which is this one, oh, fireballs are kind of cool. It's got no character. It just doesn't look as good as they did. They all kind of resemble each other to some degree as well, from what I've seen of them when it, like, the demo kicks in. Oh, he sounds angry. He went, ugh. And the level was really short. Right, does that mean I've got health? Top right, as well as lives. Oh, I've got explosion thingies. That was a trigger button. Obviously, as the dragon changes colour, that's it, getting weaker and weaker. You can't shoot them from behind. Why the fuck would you make a dragon's ass the bulletproof part of the dragon? Surely it would be more useful to have his face. I don't know. Blame Mother Nature. Fantasy's on Mother Nature. Have I got any other? No, I've just got fire. Oh, right 2 does like super burst. That's kind of cool, because let's check it out. Oh, fuck it out, I don't know how I missed that. It's good to know that the old standard just do this works, even though I'm incredibly slow as I do it. Oh, that was, well, it's kind of trying to replicate the explosions, or how, you know, each stage, because it was sprites stacked upon each other, you know, it exploded in the original one, but it's underwhelming. Geezer. Not to be confused with the water jets, or a cockney bastard. A smart geezer. Right. Okay. Oh, it's the Easter Island faces. Only these ones are alive. And look like Carlos Valderrama. He's a Colombian footballer. Also bears resemblance to my dad. True story. Is that power-ups? Oh, I've got like rotating orbs and stuff. This is what's interesting as well, because when you play the original Space Harrier, When the, because I mean it was designed just to suck in quarters, wasn't it? Or 10p's, depending upon where you live. But it is health, actually. But, you know, trying to fly through the pillars was like an absolute, you know, sometimes it was just fluke. Whereas in this, I don't know, it feels like you're doing it in bullet time. Like, last minute, see, hey, all the time in the world. You can take a tour through the middle. Right, okay, if you can hear my dog barking, that's because cyclists like to stop in front of my house, and apparently my dog doesn't like cyclists. She's not a fan of Lycra. I don't blame her. Anyone, you know, wearing shorts so tight you can see their ball crease, that's just wrong. Right, there was a... is that a fly? Right, okay. Right, you can stop barking at rat boy. He's not going away. Cyclists don't do that. And they don't stop for red lights, rat boy. Trust me, if you drove, it would annoy the shit out of you. Right, is this the stage that's going to have the two-headed dragon? Because if I can just get to see that, then I'll call it quits. Right, I just want to see what it looks like. Okay, big plants, fungi. You massive amount. I mean, I can't help but feel, I can understand why you're shooting, like, the things that are shooting at you, self-defense, but, you know, taking out Mother Nature, that seems a bit unfair. You know? It's ecological genocide, ecocide. Ooh, right, yeah. You're practically, you know, there's no sense of speed. It's like, I don't know, he's got all the time in the world. Okay, now I'm a marble. Alright, here we no, more. Like I said, I guess the saving grace is it's the music, but I would definitely say of the classics so far I've played on this compilation. Oh, I died, but I don't fall to the floor weak. And my screen was weak. Yeah, the games I've played on this compilation so far, this is the most disappointing. Right. Right, have you got two heads? Okie dokie. Sounded like a drill. Right, see, the two-headed dragon on the original was epic. It should be like two heads either side of the screen or something. Oh, that must hurt. Or leave a mark. Anyway, I'm going to call it quits there. Yeah. Space Harrier 2. Like I said, if it wasn't for the fact that all these games are in the compilation, then I certainly wouldn't have bought... oh, it's in the closing stage. I certainly... oh, there's a bit more speed. And they won't blow up. Actually, there's a lot more speed. Finally. Yeah, I certainly wouldn't have bought this as a standalone title, even though they released it like in Japan. Oh, fuck. So what, the first three stages were like training stages? Or they're like, you know, training wheels on your, I was going to say on your car, on your bike. Never mind. Anyway, yeah, Space Harrier, the sort of reimagined version on the PlayStation 2. Sega Classics Collection. Meh. Anyway, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you later.